This segment is brought to you by Wild Birds Unlimited.
Well, nesting season is upon us here in the Lowcountry, and today I'm joined by my friends from Wild Birds Unlimited. How are you ladies doing today? We're doing great.
Glad to be here.
It's absolutely beautiful outside, and one thing that we need to talk about is what's happening right now, nesting season. Tell me a little bit about it.
So nesting season in the Lowcountry, we started a little early. We've already have reports of bluebird eggs, so we're really excited about that. But we're here really just to share with you the do's and don'ts of a proper nest box and what you can do to attract them to your backyard.
So if I wanted to attract some bluebirds to my backyard, which I do, bluebirds are awesome, how can I do that?
Yeah, one of the best ways to attract bluebirds to your backyard is with a nest box. And we do recommend putting your nest box on a freestanding pole with a baffle. That will help protect the birds from raccoons, snakes, any other critters that might try and get in there. And our nest boxes are very thoughtfully made with some ventilation, easy to clean out, kind of monitor the nest boxes. So that's how we would recommend getting started.
And these are specifically for bluebirds, right? Because bluebirds like to be stationary, you were saying.
Absolutely. Also, our other nesters are the Carolina wrens and Carolina chickadees, but they're not as picky about being stable. So like swinging houses that would hang from a tree, a bluebird probably wouldn't use as often as those other two species.
Gotcha. Okay, let's talk about some other tips that you might have for people that are beginners and don't really know a lot about feeding the songbirds.
So one thing that you'll always want to make sure is that the hole dimension is 1.5 inch. That is the proper dimension for our eastern bluebirds. You also want to make sure, as Daniel mentioned, that you have ventilation and that there is a proper clean out door, because we recommend cleaning out the nest between the broods. So you see here, this is where you can observe your babies and your eggs, and then if you open up the top, you can view them, and then this is your clean out door.
And again, this is called a baffle, right?
Yeah, we feel like the baffle is really critical. If you're gonna put up a nest box and attract nesting birds to your backyard, you wanna do the best you can to help protect them from any critters that might try and eat them. And so that baffle is a really important part of putting up a nest box. Also, in a pinch, we do carry snake guards that go on the front of the boxes. That snake guard is very effective at keeping out any of the larger snakes we have in the area and keeping raccoons from being able to reach in that nest box and get to those eggs.
Yeah, speaking of eggs, you were saying that we're already kind of seeing some eggs that are starting to get hatched.
Yes.
Right?
It's such a fun time of year. And even though they've already started though, our bluebirds have up to 3 broods each year. So they'll be nesting well into the start of summer. So it's not too late to get your nest boxes cleaned and put out.
And it's not uncommon. We have seen 4 and 5 broods. Overachievers they are. And so you think about the timing, you know, what happens is that mom and dad court, and then she will start building a nest when she knows that she has eggs to lay. And she'll lay an egg a day and will not start sitting on and incubating them until all the eggs are finished, completed, because she wants them all to hatch at the same time. She wants them all to fledge at the same time. At that point, when the babies fledge, that's when we recommend getting in there, cleaning out the old nest, getting some soap and water to make sure there's no smells, and then sure enough, they'll be back to build another.
And obviously you guys are the experts. You've been doing this for a very long time. I'm sure it doesn't get old every single year when you get to see those eggs and the hatchlings. But for somebody that wants to start, can they just come to one of your locations and you'll kind of give them the lowdown?
Absolutely. Our teams at either store can walk you through everything that you need to attract the bluebirds, Carolina wrens, or any other birds to your backyard and specifically get them nesting in your yard this season.
Be sure to check out Wild Birds Unlimited across the Lowcountry in Charleston, Mount Pleasant, and Somerville.